I'm on my phone all day, so that's why like in New York I post more. It's not that I'm like happier in New York when I'm posting. It's just all I have to do there. Wait, it just turned off. I hope this is the thing still going? Rich, is it still going because it turned off on the TV?
No, it's okay. I started another one.
Okay, it's still going. I'm live. Am I still live? I'm good. Okay. Turned off the TV. So no. Anyways, let me turn this on. Let's go to a different video. It's some old CBS video. That's interesting. Oh, Richard, you know what we keep forgetting? Hold on. Richard, you know what we keep forgetting? The live feeds for Big Brother.
Hey, cool. We gotta watch that next.
Yeah, we keep forgetting. The Big Brother is on. So we've always watched Big Brother. We'll watch the live feeds, which, depending on the year, can be a lot more interesting. They're not nearly as interesting as they used to. They used to show a lot more, because the live feeds are just the people going through the house. You just watch them all day when they're not, doing the games and things. They used to show a lot more. Now they don't show that much, but it's still kind of interesting just because you're just watching people just kind of in their house. So we always really enjoy Big Brother, and I complain about each year like this person, that person. That's like the whole fun of it, I was like bitching about because they pick the weirdest people, and I think that's the fun of it, is just kind of complaining about these weird contestants and then liking some of them, but other ones are just like, some of them are really mean and ruthless and like such little liars. That one, the American one, is so much more about lying, whereas the European one, they because we watched the UK one and we've also watched the Australian one and I think another one, I can't remember, the Canadian one. But a lot of the other ones, the public votes, so there's not as much of the like lying, whereas ours, the housemates vote people off. So they just lie to each other. They promise each other things. There's all this lying. And with the one, the other ones, they don't lie as much because they have the public viewing them. So they think about what the public is thinking. So they're like, oh, I don't want to be lying the whole time, because so if anything, they try to like look good. But on ours, they like are ruthless. So it just kind of depends. It's just different. We've watched them. Our favorite one was the UK one. When it was they had. Emma and Ryland. I don't know if anyone watches Big Brother, but me and Richard were like huge Big Brother fans. So we've been kicked off the live feeds before because we were bitching about the contestants having eating disorders, and they can't talk about it on there either. We pay for the live feeds and they like kicked us off from like commenting because we were commenting about the eating disorders. So you can never talk about it anywhere apparently. But yeah. Anywho, we won't do that again. But yeah, we gotta do the live feeds again. Those are fun. So today is, I believe, day 6 of no alcohol, and I feel like really solid that it's gonna be forever. I know a lot of people are like, I think a lot of people think, oh, Joy's gonna drink in Manhattan, and I see why you think that, because I did the last several times, but I'm very disciplined when I want to be. And I lose discipline once I start drinking, but the first drink, I have discipline to not do that. Does that make sense? And it's hard. I know it's going to be hard when I'm there, because I did get in a little bit of habit of drinking there. So it's going to be like almost like, oh, it'll feel like weirder to not drink, but that doesn't mean I can't do it. And I'm feeling very confident about it, because the healthier I get with my diet, then the less I want to do something so disruptive and destructive and unhealthy. So like I said, when I was still eating unhealthy, then I think the alcohol seemed like a better idea. Even Richard was like, if you really have to, I understand. I was like, no, I don't want to. I don't want to anymore, because it was insanely destructive. I have not felt good really since I've been home, because of drinking from the last trip. I mean, I really have not really bounced back fully since the last trip, and that's just too long. Do you understand? I can't have the 2 weeks and then make a whole month of just not feeling good afterwards. It doesn't pan out. And it's also, I don't like that. You know what I mean? I don't like to feel crappy for a month, basically. So it's just not worth it. And so I just have to keep reminding myself of that. If I think, oh, it sounds like a good idea, I just have to remind myself of what I just went through. And I don't think it'll be that hard to remind myself since it just happened and I'll still be going through it, you know? So it's one of those things, like, as much as it kind of sucks that we kind of fell off from our health routine, it's also good to be reminded of how difficult it is to get back on. So it'll keep us on track longer, if that makes sense. For a while, I think, you know, when we had been healthy for a while, we kind of forgot what unhealthy felt like. And we also forgot how hard it was to get on and off the diet. Well, off that diet's easy. Get on back on the diet. Of the keto diet, and keto or carnivore. And so I think it was a good reminder, like, it was fresh in our mind now. And also, we were very arrogant, me and Rich, because we kind of thought we knew everything, and, you know, we thought it was so easy what we were doing, and it's not easy. And I'm glad that I kind of got to go through that. And I'm glad I went back through the alcohol again, because to think alcohol is a good idea, as I was reminded, it is not. So in case I forgot again, which I did. So I feel like this time around, we're older too. So, you know, I'm 40, Richard's 57. So I don't think this is going to happen again. I just don't, like, it's like, they're just kind of like that point where, you know, how many times you're going to go on the roller coaster. And when you get older, you don't feel like it anymore. And I know 40 is not old, but at 40, I just really kind of came to this maturity where I just don't feel like doing things that are so, like, where you're running around and you're erratic and you're, you know, hurting yourself and you're, you know, feeling sick. Just things like that are just not sounding as attractive to me. I don't know, I'm just kind of getting to that age where you're like, I'm kind of liking chilling. So, like, I like my weed and I like being healthy and, you know, just doing my chores and just doing my thing. And when I go to New York, just walking around, checking out the area, taking photos like I do, blogging, like I enjoy doing things like that. You know, I'll blog outside more than it is, or maybe if I find a spot in my room, like a white wall, but none of this drunken, stupid videos that I was doing, you know. And I'm looking forward to, like, a good Manhattan trip, not one where I'm, like, you know, passing out at any point or feeling icky, you know. So I'm feeling really good about the burgers too. That's what I want.
Yoga pretty soon? People want to know.
Unfortunately, I'm bloated, but hopefully, like, in the next couple days, I'm gonna start doing that. But today, no. I woke up still bloated, and I haven't had breakfast yet. Richard made it for me. But once I eat that one, it's going to be more bloated. Yeah, this is, so why I'm bloated, if you guys, for those of you that don't know the story. So, I don't get into the whole discussion too much about the eating disorder, because you're not really supposed to talk about that on here, so I'm not going to talk about it too much, but I had an eating disorder for like 17 years, and then I recovered from it, and then I got back on that train just sporadically. But even just sporadically is, you're going to mess up your body, because eating disorders really mess with your body. And that's why I'm bloating is, and also I think the alcohol too didn't help, but I've now cut out the sugar and I'm not doing any sort of eating disorder. So my body is now having to fully digest and acclimate. And I had Candida overgrowth. Candida is a fungus that everybody has in their stomach, but when you do things that are not healthy, you can get an overgrowth. And then those little fungi flourish in your stomach, which just causes so much havoc. They cause pain in your stomach always, like they, you know, or like, because they want you to either eat or they, you know, because then your cravings or, you know, upsetness for, like, you think you need food, because they're trying to get you to eat all the time because they're hungry. And so when you stop eating the sugar, or stop, you know, drinking the alcohol and all this stuff, then they start to die off, but they send off like 79 toxins in your body, so you don't feel good as you're getting healthy for just a handful of days. And then one of the things is the bloating. They send the bloating, and it's just excessive bloating. Like at certain times it's worse than other times, and you can't. Imagine if like your stomach just went out, like you know how when you push your stomach out, like if you were to push it out as much as you can to give yourself like a Santa Claus stomach, But imagine it was stuck there, like it doesn't, it just stays. It's like a really like a hot air balloon that's just like fully inflated, and so it's very uncomfortable. And at times it'll kind of come down a little bit. And so this morning it was less than it was last night, because last night I was like, oh. But it's still not, I'm not back to what, like normal. Like I'm still bloating. And so bloating is a very uncomfortable feeling. It's not just that, your stomach is like, it's like everything is like your whole body feels like you're a balloon that's just way too inflated. I can't describe, like if you've never experienced bloating. If you experience bloating, then you probably understand. But when I do eat, when this is occurring, each time I get more bloated. So it's like the thought of eating is just like, oh, not that enticing. So that's why I haven't been having the cravings. So that's been fortunate. But I don't know which is worse, the bloating or the cravings. But when you have this much bloating, you're not really wanting to eat. Like you're just like, oh, because as soon as you eat, you're going to be even more bloated. And each meal it gets because it's not getting less, it's like getting more. So by dinner, I was just like, oh, it's such a beached whale. I was like, oh no, this is not good. It was so uncomfortable. But I knew I needed to make sure I'm getting my nutrition too, but I might have to skip a meal or so too here till this kind of deflates a little bit. And I call it paying the piper, because when I'm unhealthy, I'm kind of eating this bad food and then, getting rid of it in a sense. For the eating disorder I did, and it's kind of like a cheating thing, because usually you gotta pay the piper for everything you eat, and so if you try to cheat by, getting rid of it in other ways, then later when you get healthy, you're just gonna feel the pain later. It's like this is the thing, a lot of times, when people take drugs or something, that because if they're in pain, they're just delaying the pain. When they stop the drugs or whatever the addiction they're doing.
Gloria's bed's coming today.
Oh, good! Gloria's frame comes today. Yay!
8 p.m.
Good news, and you guys have to go soon to Annette's thing pretty soon. In a little bit, I'll let you guys know when. But Gloria's frame comes today. That's such good news. Good. We weren't giving us a day. We didn't know. They just said. Well, at first I thought it was coming between Tuesday and Wednesday, but then Richard said no, they're saying anytime before Friday. But it's coming today now. Woohoo. So good news. And they're going to set it up. So she'll have her frame to see by tonight. She'll have her bed. She'll be sleeping in her bed in her frame tonight. Woohoo. Good news. Very good news. And the funds had come back from when they'd put that pending hold, the authorization hold. But it was it was an error thing, so that came back yesterday, which was super fortunate, because those things drive me. It drives me nuts if you got to call again, because Richard had called, on whatever day, but they couldn't do anything because it was, those pending things are difficult. But what was irritating to me is one of the places was saying they couldn't see it, and I was like, oh, that's scary. I hope it's not like it's gone into this abyss. But oh yeah, I'm doing laundry. I gotta put in the dryer. I'm not feeling great because this bloating thing, so I'm tired. So that's why I'm not not doing fitness stuff, and not super fun to listen to right now, because I just don't feel great. But I'm feeling good in the sense of that I'm healthier. So even though I'm bloated and tired, I'm feeling healthier at the same token. So I'm feeling really proud that me and Rich made it. This is day 3. It's really hard to quit the sugar when you've been doing sugary things, and especially when it's still in the house.
Well, you have something wrong with you. like something happens when you stop eating. Like you get
right, and then the other
you get,
thing
like,
is
you get
when
this
it,
huge pain. Like there's a
right,
negative.
yeah, and then there's the other thing is when I stop, I know I'm gonna go through this, so it's like it is difficult. It's a difficult thing to do, but I was, and especially like if we don't have any money, I can't do this because I have to work. But we were like, we have enough where I could take a couple days off to get better. And I know that I have to usually have like at least 3 days, and this bloating thing could be longer. But if I kind of know how to do it better now, I just stick with the meat and the bone broths too. Whereas in the past, I was trying to, like when I first quit back in 2015, I was trying to still eat sugary things. Oh, that was like, I mean, I would just blow up like a balloon. It was horrible. So I have to like relearn to digest, kind of, is what I'm going through. And basically I'm like really constipated too, because like that's the thing is it gets so you buy it so then get all that junk out there. So when you do eating disorders, you often don't poo enough. Like that's the bad thing with like because you're not getting your proper nutrition. So honestly, pooing daily is a very healthy thing. As I know it's TMI here, but if you're not pooing daily, it's usually because you're not eating right. And with eating disorders, that happens all the time because you're not eating right. You know, whether really most eating disorders will cause bowel issues because you're not eating right. You know, whether it be, you know, if you're starving yourself or if you're overeating or if you're doing other ways to get rid of the food, you know, then you're going to cause other issues because you're not digesting properly. My family has very, very sensitive stomachs already. My dad has IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, and my mom always had a so I was already prone to have a very sensitive stomach, and then I made very poor health choices when I was younger. So I kind of really messed up my stomach.
Hey, Mama T-Rex.
And it's painful. I mean, like last night was painful. Like I can't. It's hard to describe the
level of pain.
Yeah, because it's just one of those things like you just can't do anything because you're just like your stomach is so bloated and it's just like
Well,
do you ever know when you like right before you poo when your stomach gets like where it really really hurts like where you're like that's how it feels the whole time and I don't end up pooing. It's just like oh god. I don't know if you ever had that experience where like you're about to poo and your stomach just started like really hurting.
Like how much you like before you even knew about Gloria's diabetes, how much you tried to tell her
no, we've gone over and over and over with Gloria. I told her all about the protein diet. I've told her all about that. I mean, even before we lived here and then also when we first got here. I mean, she won't accept that she can't have things like fruit and a little bit of chocolate, a little bit of ice cream, and she can't have her like milk with sugar, you know, with her tea, you know, it's just like those things are just when she first told me she had diabetes, it was at a casino, this is before we lived here. She told me she had diabetes and she was watching her sugar as I watched her put 4 packets of sugar in her coffee with milk. This is what she's drinking. I was like, all right. I was like, look, I tried to tell her. I mean, she just, oh yeah, I'm really watching my sugar. Like 4 packets in there. You know, she's going to do what she's going to do. She's 82. We try to guide her as much as we can, but she also gets very mad if we don't have things like orange juice in the morning. I mean, she'll put it on the list. She'll put hot chocolate on the list, you know. She'll put the things on the list.
She doesn't have to deal with it.
Well, and we've done that, but that's kind of cruel. And we've done that. But it's cruel to just, you know, if she wants the things like... We get. I mean, she really doesn't go overboard. Gloria does such small amounts.
She's a very light eater.
She's a light eater, so you know she has her. But I know she does go nuts with things like sugar in her tea, you know. But I think she's using the Truvia now for that, so that's good.
For such a light eater, it's so weird that she went to all those buffets all the time.
I know she's such a light eater, but she loves buffets. That's the way. She likes variety. She really likes variety. I can eat the same thing every day, and I like that. It makes it easy. I know how to do it. Gloria, no, she likes variety. That's why she likes buffets. She barely eats, but she likes to have all these different options. You know, she would just.
Well, here's the thing. You know, she's seeing her doctor next month. Okay.
Seeing her doctor next month. She's taking her medicine now.
When they tell her, when they say, they'll probably say, "Look, you need to do this or do that."
She listens to her doctor. She does not listen to us. Very much. She doesn't think that we know better about health than her. Gloria thinks that she's an expert on health. I don't think that's always been something she thinks she knows a lot about. So it's very difficult to teach her about health, because she always tells us, like, whenever we don't feel good, she always gives us advice. Like, she's like, oh, like yesterday when I'm trying to avoid sugar, her advice was to give me like top ramen.
Now, they said we're supposed to control her as our caretaker, but
we're not technically her caretakers.
We're helping.
We're just helping, and we're not gonna like force her to eat steak. And you guys, you know what? I'm tired of you guys telling us how to tell Gloria how to eat.
Yeah, that's what.
Like, just be done. Like, everybody needs to stop giving Gloria advice on what to eat. She's 82. She's doing fine. She went to the gym yesterday. She's gonna eat what she wants to eat, and we try to guide her a bit. But everybody else needs. You know what? You guys probably don't eat nearly as good as what Gloria eats, because she barely eats. She's a light eater.
She's a very light eater.
So, like, you guys should take advice from Gloria on like light eating, instead of always on everyone trying to give advice to everybody else.
That's
you know
what she does.
I mean?
She's very
She's a light eater. So even if there's a cinnamon roll, she's eating like not even a quarter of a cinnamon roll. I mean, it's like Gloria's like 2 bites of, I'm full. You know what I mean? So they're okay. It's not the end of the world. You know, even with ice cream, she's like, you eat a tiny little bowl and she probably doesn't finish it. You know, like, not the end of the world. You know, it's like a 1 scoop, not that she doesn't even finish. You know, she's always like, oh, too much. Anything you give her, oh, it's on the tiniest little, it's like this tiny little thing. Oh, gosh. Oh, I can't finish that. She really can't. So she'll be fine. And everybody wants to give advice to everybody. Just give advice to yourself about what to eat. You know what I mean? Like, unless you're, like, even if you're the expert, you know, went down that road. We need to stop giving advice to other people. People are going to eat what they want to eat, and people are going to decide what they decide is healthy. And that's just that. So, and we need to stop giving adults advice. Like, adults can choose their own decisions, and I am guilty of that, but I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm not going to. That's why I'm telling you guys what I'm dealing with myself, but I'm not telling you what to do for diet anymore. I was arrogant telling everyone what to do. I just thought since it worked for me, but maybe it doesn't work for everybody. People are different. So, and Gloria is doing really good, and like, she's happy with her little things. She doesn't want our diet. She doesn't want burgers for every meal. We've tried that. She's like, burgers again? I mean, it's like, oh, okay. But one thing, she really likes to add like ketchup and stuff to burgers. So like a dry burger to Gloria is just not that exciting at all. Like, I don't like things like ketchup. I don't know. So it's not really an issue for me. So like the dry burgers, you know, I don't know, was not that big. It's not really dry because, you know, they're moist because Richard makes them delicious. But I'm just saying, it's like, you know, we don't add condiments, but that's very weird for Gloria. So just things like that, she just doesn't like that very much, you know. Yeah. So, you know, we give her steak. She doesn't mind steak, but the burger without condiments is just kind of like, she don't really get that. Without a bun or without, you know, tomato or lettuce or condiments, it's kind of like, okay. She likes burgers, like she likes the ones like from, you know, McDonald's, that it's a burger with a bun and, you know, all the things, all the fixings on there. She doesn't really understand this, like, you know, bunless burger thing that we do. And so it's not good to her. She's kind of like, So we're not going to, like, force her to eat our burgers. So that would be rude. And, you know, we did try to impose our stuff on her more and more when we first got here. But now we're relaxing. You know, we're letting them have some caffeine tea, you know, which I went nuts on, like LCW in the beginning, or whoever that was that sent the caffeine tea. And I apologize now for that because I was out of line. But at the time, we were having to pull some things away, and now they can kind of slowly come back, like in smaller doses, you know, because they were like overdoing the caffeine. Because Annette was just, it's not good. It does make her a lot more, she hears her voices more, and she's a lot more vocal and sometimes more angry. But we're allowing that to be like, maybe she just needs that, you know, like a little bit to express herself. Because the problem with no caffeine is she's so docile and she doesn't really talk much at all. She kind of sits there. So it's like, okay, maybe a little. But it took over when we were here. You know, it had been taking over her. Like, it was because the amount, Annette with caffeine affects her schizoaffective disorder, so she has it more intense the more caffeine she has. But she seems to just like this little bit of tea, and I'm monitoring it to make sure like it doesn't send her berserk. Because if I start to notice, she gets violent or anything like that, then we might have to cut back on the caffeine in the morning. But it seems to be going okay with her with just a little caffeine tea. But she was doing all that coffee and like just pots and pots of coffee. I heard in Gloria all day. Gloria would make coffee all day, and then it was the caffeine soda. Now we get her caffeine-free soda, and so she's only gets a tiny bit of caffeine from just like a cup of tea. She probably has 1 to 2 cups of tea a day. That's it. And so that's not bad. And I don't want to, restrict everything from them anymore because we did do that and what everyone's telling us to do, and we don't want to do that anymore. We want them to feel like we live here, but that we're not like controlling them, because I know like we're having to be controlling in the sense of like we have to do the finances and the shopping stuff. But Gloria doesn't even want to shop anymore. We've asked her. She's getting older, but she kind of just wants to relax. She likes going to the gym. And she likes, doing a handful of things, going to the club, to the dancing. But, like, going shopping now, she's like, no, I'm good, but Annette likes going. So, Richard and Annette go. But, a handful of those things, she's really just been fine with us kind of, like, taking over. I think she appreciates it in a way because it was exhausting for her. She's 82, and, she was 80 when we got here, so it wasn't like she was a, spring chicken. So, she now appreciates that we handle those things because we're younger, we should be, doing all that kind of stuff, the chores. And I've been doing all the dishes and cleaning up, and little by little we're going to get that front area clean. It'll really help today when the bed comes in. And then I don't know if we're going to do the blinds or hire someone, but I get those blinds up, but I just haven't been feeling good. Otherwise I would have probably already had those blinds up, but I just... But today is better than yesterday, so tomorrow will be even better because I can and I'm not going to fall off because I'm very committed now. For one thing, once I've already gone this far with the, going through this pain, I don't want to do it again, not for a while, so that's going to help. Like I'm already day 3. I've made it through the worst part. Day 1 and 2 was the worst. Last night was bad. I went to bed at probably like 6 p.m. And I didn't wake up until like 2 a.m. Like I was like out. Like I was in that much pain that I just slept like a baby when I did fall asleep. But from about 5 to about 6 or whatever time it was I fell asleep, I was like hunched over, in pain, like moaning. It was bad. Like I when you can't help moan. I don't know if you've ever been in that much pain when you can't, like it's annoying because you're annoying people around you, but like you can't help it. You're just like, you're just in so much pain that you're making noise. Yeah, it was one of those. So, but then when I did fall asleep, luckily I didn't wake back up because I would have been in pain. I just slept, so it was really good. And then when I did wake up, it was no longer painful. It was way less. So I was like, okay. But yeah, I'm very proud of myself for going through this because it is difficult and it's necessary, but it's also like a lot of people just stay unhealthy because it is very hard. And so it takes a lot to do what me and Richard are doing. It takes a lot of discipline. And we have discipline, but we also have, we'll kind of slack on our discipline at times when we want to. But now we're back to no, let's be disciplined. And, but not be so disciplined to everybody else. It's we're trying to make sure going to that make good food options, because Gloria, Annette's having steak every day and Richard's giving some of that steak to Gloria every day. So they're getting steak every day because we found that that's just what makes Annette happiest is steak. And it's, it's not cheap, so it's become, something we've had to put into the budget. And, if I didn't go to New York, we would not be able to get Annette steaks, but luckily since I've gone, I went, in June, and now I'm going back here at the end of July, then in August. That will then we can afford these things. But it's not cheap eating meat, and it's not cheap for our stuff too. We've really cut back too. Richard does not eat the full organic beef. I mean, so we're not doing 6 pounds a day anymore. So it's closer to 4 pounds a day that we're doing, 4 or 5, if that. So like yesterday we did 4. It just depends. So like Richard, because he ate all that chicken yesterday. So I'm probably gonna eventually cut back to 2 pounds too, but it's hard right now because I didn't always eat 3 pounds. I used to eat 2, but then I got in a bad habit of overeating, and it's hard to transition. Like first you're transitioning from off the alcohol, then off the bad food, and then maybe less food, because 3 pounds is a lot. I think that's why I am struggling too with the bloating. I mean, I'll bloat whether I eat, because I bloat after pound 1, but I think I think that's a lot. By the end of that, I'm realizing that's just a lot for my body to digest. So the less I'm packing in my body, so I'm probably only going to do 2 pounds a day, honestly, because I'm just so bloated. But I'm not feeling hungry. That's the good thing. I'll feel like a little bit where I want my burgers. Like right now, I'll be ready to have my breakfast, but it's a different thing. It's not like hungry because I have so much like food in me that I'm like, oh. So it's really helped with the cravings, which is so fortunate, because I've had where the cravings were really bad, like day 1, 2, and 3, where it's like, oh, you're just like white knuckling it, but like you really want to eat something, and that wasn't the case. I think Richard, that's happening a little more for him because he's not experiencing the bloating. So I know he said last night was really hard for him. Like he was up a lot of the night, like wanting to eat snacks. Richard had gotten in a habit of like eating that trail mix in the middle of the night, and so he said last night he really struggled, but he made it through the night. So where I just was asleep. So I had an easy night after I fell asleep. Rough before I went to sleep with the belly hurting, but then once I fell asleep, I was like out. So that was good. And I missed the game, unfortunately, the All-Star game. I saw part of it, but then I fell asleep watching it. But I think that from what I saw, the Mets were doing really good, which is good. They were representing us. So David Peterson pitched. I only saw him pitch for a little bit. From what I saw, he was doing good. I don't know if he ended up messing up at all, but they ended up winning. So, and it was the Nationals won, and that's their side. So, I don't know how it all panned out, but I think we're gonna. Is Rich ready to talk a little bit? Rich, are you ready to talk about a little bit? I'm almost ready. Pretty soon, but you guys gotta leave in about a half hour.
Oh yeah, I gotta leave in half an hour.
Yeah. So.
Give me the microphone.
Yeah.
When you keep the microphone turned off,
Oh, I'll turn it off. I'm gonna eat my breakfast.
Okay, everybody. So Joy says she's gonna eat her breakfast now, which means that you guys are stuck with me now for the next few minutes. Then I gotta take my sister to the doctor, and then. And then we'll come back on later. But I feel like I want to do some push-ups.
Oh, you should go do some. I unfortunately can't.
Okay. Yeah, I sure will. But anyone want to do push-ups with me? Look, I'm trying to get back in shape, guys.
I do not feel well. I'm too bloated.
You go online? No, probably won't do it at the doctor's. Those days are kind of over, Back when I was trying to make it, when I was trying to... I was trying to get people to notice my videos. You have to do things that other people don't do or can't do. And in my case, I'm old, so it's like there's a lot of old people that can do a lot of things. So I have to do things that they wouldn't be willing to do, like film things that are uncomfortable to film. But I didn't just do it just to make it uncomfortable, not for shock therapy. I did it, well, as you know, because there's a process. There was a plan, right? Trust the plan. And the ones who were all like freaking out when the pancakes were tossing, I knew things were already going to get better because, literally, and it went, everything was getting better. So, and I don't want to get into it because, but yeah, But you just gotta trust the plan. Brock. Well, Brock, I didn't mean never. I meant 90% of the time. Oh, is Brock here? Hey, Brock. That's you. Yeah, hey, Brock. What's up, man? Brock got me inspired. You know, I mean, I don't know. Annette doesn't want to do anything with her teeth, but I'm kind of thinking if we could, you know, there might be some programs out there, especially with the new administration. There might be some opportunities for her to get some free teeth or something like that, or, you know, do some donos, who knows. But that's not something we're really worrying about this year. This year we're worrying about, I think we're going to do other stuff. That might be a next year thing. Yeah, okay. So, Joy's going to go have her breakfast. Bong it and have her breakfast. What was I going to... Oh, yeah, we're going to do push-ups. Let's go do our nunchucks and push-up workout. Yeah, are you done? Are you done for now?
Yeah, we usually leave it. We'll come back on.
Yeah, we have to go to the doctor, guys.
Yeah, so I figure.
Oh yeah, so that's when we were used to like film all sorts of stuff, like you know, the behind the scenes stuff. But now it's like not as interesting anymore.
Well, we can come back on later if you like.
Janelle, thanks. Yeah, thanks for noticing Negative Nancy over there. I mean, look, Joy's. It's like okay. Do you guys remember when Joy didn't allow caffeine in the household? Remember how rigid Joy was with the rules about sugar and caffeine in this house? And someone sent sugary candy to Gloria and caffeine, and it was a gift, and Joy threw it out. Everyone freaked out. It's even you, Sugar Skull. Even you freaked out. Why would she? Joy is such a control freak. Why would she throw this stuff out? Why would she do all that? You know, oh my gosh, she just gave a gift of some tea. Well, right. Joy's admitting you guys were right. I mean, it might have taken her a year for it to sink in, but it doesn't matter. The point is, it sunk in. She said, you know, you guys are right. I am being a fucking control freak. The woman wants a cup of tea in the morning, I'll get her a cup of tea. She wants some ice cream, I'll get her a little ice cream. She's an adult, she eats very little. Very little. Ideally, she'd eat none, but it was kind of the other street. My point is, it's not what's right. It's not whether what Joy is doing is right or wrong. The point is that if Joy does what you say, then you all criticize and say she's too controlling. Poor Gloria, can't even have a cup of tea or a bowl of ice cream is what you'll say next. But then once she buys the ice cream and the tea, oh my God, you're going to kill Gloria. It just never ends.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm always at fault by their standard.
Look, I cracked the front of my phone today too.
Oh, jeez. You gotta take it. It's replaceable, right?
I know, but they charge like 30 or 40, 50 bucks.
Oh, that's nothing to get your phone fixed.
I'll do it like when I'm ready to upgrade. Yeah, thank you, Janelle. Thank you for bringing it up. It is something. It's been going on for a while. It was a lot harder to identify early on because there were so many people that were still sticking around, kind of like throwing that sort of shade at Joy, that it was just like it was overwhelming. But well, they over the last year and a half, they've just kind of given up. I mean, it's like oh okay, you know they've conceded, so to speak. Hand me the nunchucks. I'm gonna go do a workout real quick.
Okay, I wish I could have some too much.
Huh?
My stomach just hurts too much.
Well, yeah, hand me. Yeah, they're from me.
I know. I wish I could. Did you ever find out? Oh yeah. Is it my car?
Yeah. Hey, Tori. Good to see you.
And you have to leave in about 15 minutes.
Okay, I only have like 15 minutes, so I gotta just do these, and then we will wrap it up, and then we'll be back probably later this afternoon for something, maybe some sunbathing.
The way and the tactics that ICE is using, when we're seeing so many agents who are masked.
Hi. Is sun bright?
Well, look at that.
Yeah, we're gonna have to. Don't worry, we got the blinds. I got those, and we'll do that. I gotta take Annette to the doctor, and then we'll do. I'll come back and do the blinds. Plus, your bed is coming today. The bed frame, so we'll get that up, and it'll be, yeah. Yeah, so we'll bring that today. So we'll do that today.
They're wearing masks because they're protecting themselves.
Okay. All right. Man, it's not hot yet, but it will be hot today, I can tell. You know, nunchucks were they're the original weed whackers. Did you guys know that? They used to have blades on these. And then you'd walk around. And so if you messed up, slice your leg off. Because they had razors on the end of them. Little, all right. People try to put us down just because we get around. Things they do look awful cold. All right. Quick set of push-ups. This is my second set today. $20, $21, $22, $23, $24, $25. All right. Got my exercise in.
Oh, good. Yeah. Get your exercise a little bit.
Just 10 minutes. That's all I need. Okay.
I wish I could do it. I'm about to eat my birds.
Okay, you did. Good. Woo! Hi, Joel. Joy will be on later. She's just chilling right now.
I'm about to eat my breakfast. I'm gonna eat my breakfast.
Thank you, Joel.
I'm gonna eat my breakfast.
I'm catching my breath. I just did a workout.
And then you guys will be fun soon.
Yeah, okay, you go have your breakfast.
And then we're gonna come back later to the vlog.
Maybe not 10 minutes. Okay, maybe a 1 minute. I need cardio? Yeah, maybe. That was fun though. Push-ups are tough. Push-ups are tough. I know how much she likes her blankets in the same way. CrossFit. And exercise. Dude, I've had some... Okay, before I went off the grid, right before I met Heidi, remember Heidi? Right. She saw that I was like a sinking ship. She saw it. I mean, I wasn't doing drugs or anything. She was just like, she went through all the finance and everything. So she grabbed everything. She said, "Here." I was super depressed. So I was kind of like, she's like, here's what you. And she was really pushy. So she got me to give up the lease on my place and move all my stuff into her place. Thinking that she was going to keep my treadmill and my exercise bike. Like I wanted them. But that was, yeah, those were days gone. Those are days. I've been wanting to get a bike. Okay, what time is it now? Oh, 8:47. Almost time. I have a bike, never use it though. I know. Really? That's nice of you to say, Road King. I thought you were a hater. Maybe I got you mixed up with someone else. No, but here's the thing. Heidi was bouncing around my friends. Okay? And I was with someone. So when I first met her, she was Jared's, not this Jared. I had another friend named Jared. She was Jared's girlfriend. And then they broke up, and then she became Greg's girlfriend. And then, I'm sure in between, I didn't keep track because I'm not really, I'm kind of like I am now. It's like where I really don't know what's going on. I find out all this social stuff. And then I find out I offended people. That's the other thing too. I often did that, but they're always at my place anyway, so whatever. Point being this is that then, after my dad dies and after, my girlfriend at the time leaves, Heidi shows up at my doorstep. Okay, cool. That's cool, Road King. I don't know why I got you mixed up. Good morning, Road King. Who am I getting mixed up with, Matthew T? It might just be PTSD, bro. You know what I mean? It's just PTSD after a year and a half of dealing with haters. It's kind of like if I was a year and a half front line in Vietnam, I might come back and be a little bit skittish if someone comes up to me and says, "Hey, bro, what's up?" I'd be like, "Ah!" Why do you constantly deny having ever used drugs? We're all adults, but we can. I don't think anybody's ever denied doing drugs around here. Are you sure you're in the right room? Okay, for one thing, after the age of 50, is there anybody that gives a crap what a 50-year-old with no kids and no responsibility, maybe even widowed, just by himself, if they're over 50, do you give a crap what they do with their money in their own place? Do you care? Do you care would you care if they OD'd? Would that be news? Would you be like, it'd be sad, but you don't know them personally, and they don't have, like at some age, it's like, okay, who are we really hurting here? Nope. Nope, exactly. Nope. I gotta work. I have a good side and a bad side now because I have a missing tooth. This just happened like a month ago, so they extracted it. Nope, none of my. Yeah, some people think of my blah blah blah. Healthy way to go through life. I know, because here's the thing. Okay, let's take it even further. Now we got, let's say, a 70-year-old. Now, 70-year-old, let's go back to 1930. Okay, if you got a 70-year-old, in 1930, everything was made illegal, including alcohol. Right? But when that 70-year-old was a kid, cocaine was over-the-counter legal. You could get it everywhere. You could even buy it in the grocery store as Coca-Cola. So at some point, you've got like what they call the grandfather clause, right? I mean, it's like, dude, come on. You guys are half my age, making laws against shit that we've been doing like long before you even showed up, and you're just doing it like you're supposed to be protecting us. You're supposed to be protecting the average person. You're not supposed to be protecting us from ourselves. You know what I mean? We can kind of handle that ourselves. That's the difference between us and a lot of other countries, is that we don't need the government to protect us from ourselves. That was kind of always the rule. And then it kind of shifted. In my time, what they did, they said, oh, we don't really care what you're doing to yourself. However, what you're buying is funding the terrorist trade. So we're trying to cut off so they kind of flipped it like that. So we're just trying to stop the demand. But really, it's just more of that the Puritan logic that was kind of going on. Now, I recognize that these are very unpopular opinions, especially these days. I mean, these days, see, I was raised we were raised to question authority. We thought everything was bullshit, and also we really didn't trust the man because he was always trying to send us off to war. And then after we get back from war, he's going to arrest us for drinking or doing whatever. You know, it's just like it was just kind of it was kind of a messed up system. But now it seems like it's totally cool. Are you ready to go, Annette?
Yeah, all right.
Okay. So before I digress and go too far off on my beliefs here, hi Annette, we're gonna take Annette to the store. To the store, doctor. All right, guys.
Turn me up a little. Little do you know, you're gonna hear this one. Sun shining. Yo.
I don't hate players. I don't love the game. I'm a shot clock, way above the game.
Be point blank with you, the game.
I got all this work on me. I ain't come for play.
You can show the little shorties how you pump and dance.
The dog.
Not to death. I'm not impressed. I'm not amused. I'm not confused. I'm not to do. I'm a grown man business. I'm not in school. Put your hand down, youngin'. This is not for you.
On my jail, my beats with the Kanye, yo.
Your name on the market, your name off the payroll. Style fresh
like I'm still a Dayo, and it's been like that since the Dayo.
On more time than a rollie or Cinco.
Step on deck, your neck, or do what I say so. Get up or get out, get down or lay low.
Stand in the shadow. Old Jedi, I am Black Jedi. Black Jedi.
Black people, white people.
Let's move. Shout out to my man Khalid Kwame.